Do you feel safe enough to open your heart to love? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. In today's video, we're looking at what it takes for us to, and why actually today, we're looking at why we need to feel safe in order to intimately connect with anyone in our lives. So today is a video for day 4 of step number 1, which is looking at safety, creating the space where you can feel safe within you first, and then safe within your relationships. Whatever that is, whether you're with somebody or whether you're not with somebody, it's creating that safe space. So in today's video, I'd like to have a look at 2 psychological theories, because I have a background in psychology, over 17 years experience in the field of psychology, so I like to throw in some psychology as well as spirituality. It's the bridge really between psychology and spirituality that I integrate when I speak to my one-to-one clients. So today's video, we're looking at this idea of why it is that we need to feel safe. So in the comment section below, I'd like you to write down, why do you feel we as human beings, so I'm talking psychologically now, why do we as human beings need to feel safe? In the comment section, type in, what are some of the reasons? Why is it that we are hardwired to need to feel safe? Tell me a little bit about what your thoughts are around that. Pause the video if you're watching it on the replay and type in why. Why do we need to feel safe? Many psychologists, so Bowlby was one of the first psychologists who spoke about this idea of how we are actually hardwired to feel safe. Remember that great experiment that he did on attachment, where what he did is he had a look at, there were 2 different monkeys, well they were monkeys, and what he did is he created 2 different settings. One was where there was a wire shape, kind of like which would represent the primary caregiver, and this one wire shape was covered in soft fur, very, very soft cloth, and the other one literally just had food attached to it. So the experiment was, which one are we going to choose? Are we going to choose food, which is of course our survival, or are we going to choose the shape that's more comfortable? And what he found is that innately the monkeys spent more time being attached to the comfortable wire shape, because innately who we are as humans is we are hardwired to want to be close. We want to form an attachment, and this is so important between the ages of 0 and 2. And this is when your primary attachment, when your first model of attachment is created. And it's so interesting because this attachment, this model of how it should be that you develop with your primary caregiver, is how you then create the same model for the rest of your life of how you find and create attachments. So we're hardwired to be attached to somebody else. And another lady, Sue Johnson, talks about how we are also hardwired because of this to form an attachment, a mature attachment, when we are when we're older. So every one of us, inside of us, psychologically has a need to be attached to somebody else, to form a unit, to form oneness. Now this is psychologically, and spiritually I would say to you, yes, of course, this makes perfect sense, because innate within us there is this desire to be complete, to be one. This is what we spiritually are at a core, and psychologically who we are is we need to form an attachment, because that's where it comes from. So Sue Johnson talks about, in every mature relationship we want to be attached because we're hardwired for this. And she talks about how the reason we are hardwired to form an attachment is because we need to feel safe in order to fully express ourselves sexually, in order to explore the full range of sexual experiences, we need to feel safe. And Sue Johnson talks about how the more safe we feel, the more able we are to be able to fully explore all the different aspects of who we are sexually, and be able to open ourselves more, to be able to explore all the different types of positions, things that work for you, things that don't work for you, is when you feel safe. And a mature relationship, a committed, mature relationship, provides that safety psychologically. This is what I'm talking about today, is psychologically we feel safe. Now, you know, I always talk about the mind, the heart, the soul, but the body. The body is something we rarely talk about, but the body is incredible. We have something called the parasympathetic nervous system. And if you do research into the parasympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system is responsible for making us feel relaxed. So when this system helps us feel relaxed, but it also helps when we feel relaxed to increase skin sensitivity, especially to touch, and it also allows for genital arousal and orgasm. So, when our parasympathetic nervous system allows us to feel more relaxed, we increase our sexual arousal. But what comes first? Number one is feeling relaxed. How do we feel relaxed? Is when we feel psychologically safe, because our mind, our thoughts are connected to our body. How incredible is that? I love it. I love how the mind and the body are connected. So number one, we form an attached relationship with someone because we're hardwired as humans to form an attached relationship with somebody so that we can feel safe. When we feel safe, we are able to explore ourselves more. But before we do that, we need to feel relaxed. And that is something that the body is responsible for. When the body feels relaxed, then we are more sensitive to to the touch, and there's more genital arousal, and there's more of a openness to having an orgasm. And this is how everything interlinks. This is like how the holism of who we are is incredible, is when you are in awareness of all the different aspects of who you are, you have power. Isn't that incredible? Today's video is absolutely fantastic. So in today's video, I really tried to look at giving you an understanding of the mind and psychologically why we need to feel safe and the role of sex. There's many different psychological theories. So do some research if you want and share in the comments section below about some psychological theories around why we need to feel safe. In tomorrow's video, we're going to be having a look at this idea of what awakens you to truly expressing love, and looking at how it's a process of rewiring every day. Great video, guys. The light within me greets the light within you. That's the namaste, or the psychological need within me to feel an attachment with somebody greets the psychological need within you to feel an attachment. I'm wishing you a wonderful day, and I'll see you in video 5 tomorrow. Bye, guys.